Microphone wasn't down. We're here for the Division I Wrestling Championships here at Kettering Fairmont High School. And we're just getting the Parade of the Champions on here. And we'll be coming up with the national anthem very shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, we live in the greatest country on earth with freedoms unparalleled by any other. Please join us in the singing of the national anthem and the United States of America. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Dave Bean, and with me are the guys that make this all happen year after year after year. Tim Cunningham is the young guy in the crew, and I guess what, Tim, you've got how many years in now?
Gosh, it's been a while, Dave, but I don't know if I might be young in experience, but
You're the young guy. Greg.
Everything's relative, Dave.
It is.
Greg, how many years you been doing this now, Greg?
22.
22?
I think so.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Yep. And this is our second year of bringing the show to you from here at Fairborn. It's a really nice facility. It's a beautiful day outside, considering what we've been having week after week. And so we're getting ready here for the championship bout, and they will be wrestling also the third place match and the fifth place match.
Right. Fifth place match is important because if someone in the first four place winners do go to state, but if something happens for like a injury or skin problem doesn't make weight, the fifth place wrestler has to be ready to step in their shoes. So here nice facility here at Fairmont, Kettering Fairmont, beautiful arena. So great place, three mats easily. We're started on the
middle mat here.
That's first.
That's the fifth place match, I think.
Yeah, that's fifth place. We're just showing
now.
that. But now we've started first place. There we go. Here's our wrestlers. Zach Donathan. This is just a rematch from last week, Dave, that we did at Hamilton.
A repeat.
First and second place. So we've seen these wrestlers before. Well, you'll see this after the state tournament, so you'll probably see them back to back. Zach is a sixth place finisher last year as a freshman. He's 43-2 this year. He's first in league, first in sectional. Shot at first at district, and one of the favorites for the state championship this year.
Yeah, and his opponent's another Zach, so you can't very well yell, "Go Zach," during this match. Zach Schupp is from Fairfield. He's a freshman, and he lost last week in the sectional finals in a major decision to Donathan. We'll see if this changes any this match. It's a little bit different here, and Zach won the Coaches Classic, won the Kenston tournament and the GMC, and Donathan's in on a takedown, but they're out.
Well, Donathan has length on him. He's definitely the taller. He's got longer arms, and Schipp's probably going to be a 6-pounder next year too.
Yeah, Donathan's huge for 106.
Yeah, he's long. He's been cutting weight all year.
Well, he's been wrestling 13 all season. Yeah, he just cut at sections.
So,
Jim, did you see anything? I know you were here for the semifinals and the wrestlebacks this afternoon. Did you see anything particularly outstanding here at 106 pounds?
Well, Donathan was pretty dominant. I guess really at 106, the big match was Jago over here wrestling for third and fourth. Got beat by Shup in a head and arm in the last couple seconds.
Right.
He was, it was like he was down by a point and got the head and arm and pinned him or didn't pin him, but won the match because Jago was right up there in the rankings. Donathan in most polls they have him one. Returning state placer into the weight class. But Jago was right there with him, top 4. So for Shup to come in here, if you guys remember back at the Coaches Classic, he's the guy who put on his list that he wanted to break the wins of the 144 wins of Willie Weinberg.
Yeah.
And he's, certainly for a freshman, he's pretty impressive right here.
Well, last year at we were talking about Shup just because he's not, or Jago, who was a favorite last year, dislocated his elbow at sectionals and didn't get to wrestle. So that was a senior. He's a senior, and this is his last shot. We've got both underclassmen here, and freshman and sophomore.
Well, with Jago coming out third, if he does, let's see what the match is, 4-1. So he's up on Barrett of Harrison, up 4-1. So he should be separated from Donathan at the state tournament. So it could still be a finals matchup. Although Shup is in here,
I got to beat him.
Holding it.
They'll
pretty
have to
tight
wrestle each other earlier.
Yeah, that could be actually the semis if both of those guys were to make it.
Yeah.
They'd be on the same half.
And, these 4 wrestlers are going to state. It might not seem important, but it's extremely important for placement because the first place finisher here will wrestle his first round against a 4th place finisher from one of the other 3 districts. And the second place finisher will wrestle someone who's finished 3rd in one of the other 3 districts. So being first makes a difference of your first round opponent.
And being 3rd makes a difference. The way that draw has gone year after year after year, if you're not going to win your district and you're in there for 3rd, being 3rd is really important because most of the time 3rd place does not draw into Medina or Cleveland State. Instead, it draws into the Central Ohio district, and that's a little bit different. There, Donathan's got
the reach for takedown.
right there.
Yeah.
We've got some good kids here in the district, but when you really go through who we really think has a shot at the title, Donathan's right there at the top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Cole Jones from St. X is ranked number 1. So there's some kids that are clearly right there at that level. But here's one of our best chances for a state title.
We've got 5 seconds left here in the second period of this 106-pound championship bout. And that's the end of that first period. Zach Donathan ahead, 2-0. Donathan hits a switch right off the start of right off the whistle and gets an escape out of it.
It's 3-0.
That little shuck he uses.
Oh, he's got such a long. He can underhook and he can still catch that far ankle with his left arm. In the first period, Shup was particularly staying low, not standing up, getting down on his knees.
You see a stalemate here, I think. Boy, how long is he for a 106-pounder? My goodness, he is a long 6-pounder. He's the kind of kid next year you could see all the way up at 26 or something. He looks like he's got a lot of room to grow and put some weight on.
Yeah. But he is truly dedicated to the sport of wrestling. We ask these guys about their background and the things they have interest in, the kinds of other sports they're participants in. And, he doesn't indicate anything like that. Shup, on the other hand, plays baseball and soccer. There's a whole big issue that's laying out there, guys, this business of so much specialization. And
I think this is a good match to show you just what it's like when you wrestle somebody more than once.
So many times, yep.
Because, I heard it was Donathan beat him up pretty good last week, and now all of a sudden you're looking second period, it's only 3-0. So, obviously he's learned a little bit something and took a little something.
Well, as I remember that match from last week, it started out just about like this, and then all at once Doniphan exploded in the third period because he came away with a 15-6 championship in the sectionals. But it just seemed like all at once he really got it rolling.
The final was 15-6. That was the final score. Yeah. I did hear he was better on top, that he had turned him. So, Fairfield probably learned to just stay away from that situation. And
not going to turn anybody that way. Better hold on times out.
He is solid. Doniphan's good. Should be a fun weekend next weekend. See how he does.
There you have it, 5-0.
Well done. Well, look, he's got to have 5 inches on
him. At least, plus arm length. It's about a foot. Well, there's your champion and runner-up. And we'll be heading to 112-pound champ matches right next.
Over here,
or 13, now that they changed the
113, yeah, I'm so old.
We'll jump in here real quick before you guys get started, do a little team score.
Yeah.
Mason has clearly got this one with 159.5. They're in first place. Moeller and Elder are fighting it out for second and third. Moeller's at 131, Elder at 128.5. So you're only 2.5 points difference here for Moeller and Elder. So it could really come down to it.
Those could be the third and fourth, fifth, and sixth place matches make the difference.
You got Springboro at 76, Glen Estee at 66, LaSalle 61, Northmont 60, Xenia 56, Fairfield 53, and Fairmont at 48.
Who's at 16?
Northwest with 2
Cincinnati Northwest,
state qualifiers.
Our coverage area.
That's our boys.
Yep.
Well done there. They got 2
Waycross
state qualifiers this year.
Fact is, we're going to talk to their head coach here later in the meet. They've got 2 kids in the top 4, and they've got another one in the top 5, and that's really a dramatic growth factor.
We got Julian Daniels at 182 that made it, and Keon Huntley at 126, both getting out, so that's pretty good.
All right, here we go with the 113 for Elder, the big team score match. Austin Murphy, he's a freshman, 33-7, first at league, second at sectionals. Who's he got, Dave?
He's got from Mason, Patrick Kearney, who's again the 2 big names at Mason. And he just about got thrown right there. Patrick is a senior this year. He won this tournament, the league tournament, and the sectional tournament last year and placed 6th in the state. And this year he's repeating as champion in the sectional in the league. He projects himself to be the winner of this match.
Well, don't change your dial, folks, because you haven't seen this whole tournament before. This is, again, a finals of the Hamilton sectionals.
That's true.
Another repeat match from last week where Kearney beat Murray.
What was the score?
Murphy, I don't remember the score. I think it was about 8-4, so I just don't remember. Dave's got it. Our stats man.
Murphy kind of learned a little bit something last week.
Well, you got a senior versus a freshman here, and I think
10-3.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But that again, that is like that last match, the Doniphan match. That wasn't the big major decision like it was a week ago. Patrick Kearney's a pretty good kid though. He's been consistent throughout his career. Although last year was his first year to actually place in the state tournament. But he, too, is one of those guys that's considered one of the real contenders for a state championship.
Well, this guy shows how strong that Hamilton sectional was. I mean, we've got Mason and Elder and, 6 or 8 kids coming from both of those teams qualifying for state.
I checked the breakdown on that before we started here. Hamilton sectional has 11 wrestlers in the finals. Lebanon has 9. Centerville 1 has just 3 in the finals, and Centerville 2 has 5.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty heavily dominated or tilted toward the Hamilton sectional this year.
I think you can really tell physically a difference between the two. I mean,
Yeah.
Kearney being the senior, you can see he's just physically a little bit strong. I mean, I don't know if he's stronger per se,
A
but
little definition,
yeah, a little
better
bit,
arms. He's shorter too, you know.
yeah, Murphy is kind of like Donathan there in the last match. He's long and tall, and
I think Donathan's taller than his teammate Kearney,
Oh,
who's
yeah.
no
a weight
question.
higher than
Yeah.
him. You know, so.
And most of Kearney's matches have been at 120 pounds this season as well. He won the GMC, for instance, at 120 pounds.
Of course, they have to have been able to chart their weight. Early at the year, they've been able to, with their alpha weight,
Yeah.
they're only allowed to go down so far. So
look at
early in
Murphy's
the
going
year,
to get 2 here.
if he
Yes,
gets,
he is.
At least
Now
one.
he's
That should
got-
be 2 at the ankle.
got the 2 reversal. Yep.
Dick Roach is the referee for this match.
Coach Root didn't like that, but I
Looked
think
like
that
2.
was 2. What do you
Yeah.
think? He didn't argue too long, so.
Well, I think Coach
Mr.
Dick Roach told him to sit down.
Yeah, and you noticed that Ryan did sit down. That's what he told him to. Dick Roach was head coach at Oak Hills High School for many, many years.
So the last guy that's going to give Elder a break is the old Oak Hills coach.
He could get back here. He got 2 back there.
Yeah.
He's going to
All
give him
right.
2.
Dick was thinking about that. There's 2 on the back.
A little different
Here you-
story. 4.
Change from last week. Tells you when you wrestle guys more than once, and you get a little confidence. You know what they do.
Well, you know, you're also expecting to see them next week. So you can practice with the anticipation of, I'm going to wrestle this guy again this week.
Well, that's one of the that's a factor here on when folks are going to be viewing this program. Because when we first started with the agreement that we were going to do sectionals and districts, one of the first things that came up was, oh, that could be used as a coaching, scouting tool. And so this program won't be cablecast until after the state tournament.
Yeah, everybody, and they also worry about the home videos, parents and that taking the couple of years they tried to prevent people from video on their own
Right.
kids and stuff because people
They were
were
using it for
concerned.
scouting, yeah.
So, you're not.
Kearney's down 4-0 here. He is in desperate need in these 27 seconds.
Murphy's on the hips, and then as he turns, he goes down on the legs and gets a single and drives into it.
Greg, you remember last week we talked about this, that Kearney did not come out and wrestle as smoothly as we
right there.
Right.
we expected. And it took him a while to get started.
Right. And you were indicating that maybe due to the fact that he was cutting weight or something might have had some effect on it.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Well,
about
now Murphy's hanging on that leg.
And he got warned for stalling, and now he's
I
just
think
hanging on
you
that
better
ankle.
look at what he's got there.
That's a big
time.
point. He's got a point and a stalling there, so it'll be
He
Kearney's
almost got
choice.
turned to his back there or something.
So
At
Kearney-
the end of the second period, it's 4-1.
it's Kearney's choice, I thought. They're telling Elder it's their choice, but I think it's Kearney.
It is. He deferred.
Kearney will go down here.
Nope, he's still on his feet.
Go up.
Doesn't want to waste any time, not get beat him, and he'll get out of the bottom.
Well, I don't know why. He just did get away. He still needs 2 takedowns. So.
2 takedowns will just tie it. Though.
Right. No, well, yeah, 2 takedowns will tie it, whereas if he was
4-3,
down,
then
he only
5-3,
needed 1
then-
takedown. It could have been 4-4.
I would have thought he'd have tried to get his 1.
Good.
It's just, that's what these coaches know better. They know what the kids are most comfortable at, and they know
He's
the
a
match
senior
from
wrestler.
last
Maybe
week.
he knows what he's more comfortable with.
And they know what he did last week and where they think he's best at. So, Murphy's the long type wrestler. Those are tough guys to wrestle from the bottom. So, we'll see how he does. How he can.
Well, now he's doing a smart thing there. He's not backing up. He's almost got tipped, but he's underhooking.
Kearney's got a good little inside fireman there that he has used, but Murphy is avoiding that.
His clock is his enemy right here. And this is even though Murphy's a freshman, this isn't the first year he's ever wrestled. So
he's coming in with
experienced
a lot of
guy. Minute and 11 to go. Brought that little head slap from.
Could end up really costing Kearney.
It's interesting. This is one of the this is a match, too, that points out another factor that's playing its role in what we're seeing now. We have two of the more youthful, shall I say, coaches working these mats. Jason Roush, new coach, head coach at Elder, and Ryan.
Well, it's 4-2 now.
Yeah, Kearney got his stalling point now, so now all he needs is a takedown to tie it. But he's under 30 seconds. He's not
Murphy's
do
doing
much
a
with
good
his
job.
head stuck under there.
Right.
Got to get his
Even
head
that's
free.
where he likes to be, but
say this, Kearney looks very much in control of his emotions, and you know he's down here as a senior. This is a big day for him, and
well, good hand control by Murphy. He's not going to let. He can stay right there. To be honest with you.
Yeah, Kearney's got to separate
15
and get
seconds.
a good shot off.
He's not going to get two stalling calls in 10 seconds. That's for sure. Well, that was not a very good shot there. 9 seconds to go. Gonna have to pick up the pace here. 5 seconds. Good
Not
block
gonna do
off.
it.
Yeah.
Ran out of time.
Reverse.
There was a lot of roll around out there on that one.
4-2, so a little
4-2.
upset there.
Yeah, that's your first upset of the day.
And
With
those 2 back points helped.
Yeah.
Wow. A little bit of an upset there, right?
Austin
I think
Murray,
so.
Murphy of Elder.
Freshman beats the seniors, always
Freshman.
an upset.
Freshman district champion. That's impressive.
That's that's one that people will take note of down the road.
Well, that makes a nice, better draw for you up here. Okay, now we have Gage Branson from Glen Estee, another senior, 41-2, at 120 pounds now. He's in the purple singlet, and his opponent, state placer,
is from Moeller. He's a senior. This is Connor Ziegler. He was 6th in the state 2 years ago, but did not place last year.
Didn't he get
choked
knocked out?
Yeah, he was injured. It wasn't that.
He got choked out in a match.
Yeah.
You guys remember this is a
saw.
repeat of the Coaches Classic.
Did they wrestle in the state duels too? No.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Or
So-
no, they didn't. They avoided each other.
Yeah, I mean the teams did,
wrestled,
but they moved
last
up.
week at the sectionals, 3-2 Ziegler. And I think it was about 5-2 at the coaches. But if you remember, Ziegler had blood time throughout the whole match. So these
Connor is going to the military academy next year.
He is.
So is Cole Jones, isn't he?
He's Cole.
I think so. Thought so. Well, a couple of them going on. Well, Branson has a total of, he's got a lot of, let's see if I got this right here. Gage Branson has 141 wins. Connor Ziegler has 130 wins coming into this, so 271 wins between them with more to come. So
30 seconds left in the first period.
2 4-year starters. How many times do you think they've gone against each other?
Oh, I hate to count.
Probably way back in junior high and kids club.
Yeah.
I have to take my shoes off for sure.
I think you're definitely looking at 2 state placers right here.
Were they in the same sectional last week, right?
They were 3-2 Ziegler, and what I heard, I wasn't there, but I heard Ziegler got a takedown at the.
That was a nice
last
series
minute.
there. We talked about guys attacking one way and following it up with a different attack. Connor Ziegler did just that.
Here's the in there, but just ran out of time.
Yep. Nice change.
And that's the thing. See so many of these wrestlers, one move, but it's the series that really,
If you're gonna win in Columbus, you've got to be able to string a series together.
Nice job by Branson.
Branson's
Branson's
pulling the hip.
He's got that
out.
He's got that ankle.
Yeah, he's walking it. He's going to put Ziegler in jeopardy there.
Ziegler's got to take that over his head. He hasn't given him 2 yet, but that's. Coach is asking him to watch his knee, but then he's going to just
loses.
He lost good position there.
Yeah.
Boy.
Should have got it taken as 1, really. But it was 2 was set right there.
Big caution on Ziegler.
Yeah.
Started early.
Well, we've seen a couple matches where a third caution or a locking hands in the last 10 seconds
again,
made a
cautions.
difference.
Ooh, there's a second. There was a second caution right away.
With a whole lot of time left.
Coach is asking just what did he do on the second one there?
I don't blame Coach Y for wondering what's going on out there, because that, well, I really don't like that, the points that you can get from a caution.
That's a point ready to have now. There's 2 cautions. Next one will give a Branson a point.
That's right.
You can get a little, just get somebody to flinch a little bit.
I had a nephew win a match that way and did sectional finals against Omar Scruggs. He had overtime, and Scruggs lined up like 2-3 times in a row wrong, and my nephew David won the match, won the sectionals that way. Well, Ziegler's doing a good job riding. He's got a minute ride in.
He keeps going to the.
This is a big point in the match for Branson. He's got to get a point here.
Yeah. Well, they're letting Ziegler drop down on that leg, and
it's pretty good action right there.
Gonna have to be careful of that. Branson's working a hands control, trying. Now he's got to keep him from locking up.
Can't quite get away. Ziegler snags the ankle.
Well, 21 seconds.
No change. Branson really needs one here.
21 seconds here left in this period.
Ref looked at it a little bit like he was going to go a third time.
I thought so too.
Well, the ref's got to be consistent too as to when he blows the whistle after they get on there.
That's right. And it isn't
always good move.
Same thing as before.
4 seconds.
You don't get it. Needs to rip that head. Didn't get it.
They're talking. They might give him one. Yep, they're just calling him blood time. Ziegler with blood time, just like the coaches, guys.
Okay, let's take a look at our underwriters for this part of the season, our tournament season. Southwestern Ohio Wrestling Coaches Association have been underwriting this program since, well, back when it was held at the Nutter Center at Dayton, University of Dayton.
We were
Dr.
there.
Stephen Daly from UC Health, Dr. Kevin Riley of Tri-Health. Both of these guys were wrestlers in these competitions. Keller and Klein Incorporated, and we still haven't found out what they do legally. Foster and Motley is a financial planning agency. Cincinnati Functional Fitness, which brings you training in your specialty field, and a really wonderful opportunity to go beyond. General Advertising Products, Cincinnati Sub-Zero.
And we're back.
These matches. You'll see these supporters and sponsors tagged on the scoreboard there as you go too.
We're back to live action here.
Ziegler was gone ahead. They started on their feet, so Ziegler's up 1-0 here. In on a good shot, but Branson good with good defense, trying to throw him over him.
Scramble.
Great scramble.
Didn't get it though. He's in trouble now.
Ziegler gets it. They go 3-0. Coach is trying to question something here. See if we can pick up. If he's arguing he might have been out of bounds or just what.
Well, it's a 3-0 score here. Connor Ziegler's over Gage Branson. Officially. Here we go.
There's still plenty of time, and there's been really close situations arise here that could have gone.
He was thinking of Graham being there, wasn't he?
Branson could use one of those points for illegal starting position or whatever, getting back in the match. He'll get his one, go 3-1. Takedown will tie it for him.
I think Ziegler likes being where he's at.
Ziegler beginning to get it going now.
Yeah, that was some really nice counter wrestling. Just got to pop his head now.
Branson got a little sloppy there because he was running out of time. I think he got a little over anxious. They're going to stalemate this.
That was pretty quick. We're down under a minute, 52 left. Branson needs a takedown and a ride. Ooh, it's a good shot. He's in deep.
Got to get that far ankle.
Here.
Can't reach
Takedown here ties this match.
Sure does. And a cradle. He's going to get him for stalling right there. But you know, from Ziegler's perspective, he just wanted out of the position he was in.
He also
was being choked out, so.
Injury time.
He was choked there.
Now, here's the point with the injury time. Next injury time.
Here come our
Branson can take down.
General Advertising. If you're in business or if you're having a party, check at General Advertising products. Cincinnati Sub-Zero, medical and industrial programming programs for extreme temperature ranges. Tim Cunningham, who you can see why he gets to be an announcer.
I got to buy my way in. Cunningham.
They ran out of
on my hand.
We changed his name. We changed his name.
Ran out of screens.
That's okay.
What can I say?
There's Tim. There's a great view. I'll tell you what. We're back.
All right, Branson back in on another good shot. Great scrambling by Ziegler. This is how he ended up with the last takedown. Under 20.
Well, that's a good series right there. Both wrestlers.
Ziegler's got to be careful here.
Yeah, Branson's got good leverage.
Yeah, he's not going to get anything here.
We're down to 3.
Like to give a shout out to. Oh well, we only got 3 seconds left. I'll do it later.
Ziegler just run a little bit.
There's your champion, Connor Ziegler, Gage Branson. I'd like to see these guys be 1-2 in the state next week. What do you think?
That'd be great. I'd love to see the. I'd like to give a shout out to another one of our underwriters, Jim Dandy's Family Restaurants. Jim Emig has been just about everything in high school wrestling here in the community for a long time. And Jim's been pretty sick here lately, and he is getting good treatment and hopes to be getting out of the hospital next week. But Jim Dandy's Family Restaurants, if you love barbecue, that's the place to go.
All right, we're back to live. So Elijah Perkins from Miamisburg. So we sophomore, 126 pound. Last year was 30-8. His opponent?
His opponent is Jake Meredith, a sophomore from Elder High School. And he was third in the sectionals last season. And this year, I guess he won it. He didn't complete this form real clearly. Having a little trouble figuring this one out. He was sectional champion at 126. Okay, so it's the first time that we've had a matchup of this nature, I think, so far, a Centerville competitor.
Well, Miamisburg is their first year without Coach Willie Weinberg being the head coach for a number.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know he left. Where'd he go?
He's head of the Prodigy Wrestling Club, working said it runs Prodigy Wrestling.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're working on a contingent of a number of the local Southwest Ohio and Dayton wrestlers to enhance the summer wrestling clubs and
Oh, I didn't
develop
know that.
it. Yeah. So he's director of operations there. Felt like it wouldn't be appropriate to be director of operations of a summer club and still be coaching at the same time.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
conflict of interest. So he took the Prodigy position, and wish him well at that. Hopefully he can impart his knowledge to not just one school but numerous schools, which will help all of Southwest Ohio wrestling, enhance the numbers.
Wow, nice job there.
Boy, he almost had the standing cradle locked up.
Perkins did a really nice job there.
And he's got it that
Great
time.
takedown. That should be 2. Ooh, thought he had it for a second there, but didn't hold it long enough.
No,
He's
he's
going to get nothing out of that.
Boy, Meredith is a slippery character out there. He's hard to take down. The elder
well,
wrestlers
he's long and lanky.
are real long and lanky this year. That's what I've been thinking as I've watched him here the last couple of weeks.
Another nice shot by Perkins.
Yeah, he's going to go for 2 this time instead of the.
Coach Roush isn't going to like that one. He's going to question it. At least ask for the ref to confirm it with the other guy.
I keep waiting. I'd like to listen in because I'm sure the officials say, "Yeah, your coach, you're right. I think I made a mistake here. I think I'm going to change this call."
He had it for a split second, but then Meredith got the lock
Yeah,
in there.
reaction time. They're not going to change it.
You should at least ask to maybe ask the other ref.
Meredith's got a little hitch in his
think he
schedule
did.
on there, it seems like.
He said he did ask him. He went and checked with him.
All right, Meredith will, his choice, he chose down.
Perkins looks a little feisty. Looks like he's got a little spring in his step, got a little extra.
Impressive, if he's a sophomore, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
What's
gonna
going to
give up
Meredith in?
They're
Meredith's
both
a sophomore.
sophomores. They're
both
2 sophomores.
Got some young kids coming into the district finals here, guys.
We do. We've got a lot of freshmen. We got Sue's over here trying to figure out how many freshmen and sophomores and such there are.
So we have 2-1. Perkins from Miamisburg leading on that last second takedown. Kind of energized him. He's being the aggressor, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's solid.
Yeah.
You don't get to see Miamisburg much, but
The elder blocking off with their head onto the shoulder there. Push it away.
gotta get his head to one
Yeah,
side or
he's
the
not-
other.
just walking out of bounds there. 2-1, 1 minute.
Oh, big
Oh.
mistake there.
Well,
He's
if
got
he
to
hadn't got it
capitalize
now,
there.
he's
He's in
got
great
it now.
shape. Good. Watch how
Still
Meredith
not
doesn't
there.
quit, does he?
Still not there.
He
Keeps
won't
turning.
give it up.
Keeping
Yeah,
turning.
I think he's got
There's
it. As soon as he- yeah.
Good job by Meredith. I mean, he made a little mistake, got a little over-aggressive on the head.
Well, I think if he hadn't stopped there, I still don't think there'd have been points. He kind of hesitated. 4-2. 4-2.
Got an escape.
23 seconds left in the second period. And Perkins is kind of. Okay. 13 seconds. Stay right there. That's the end of the second period. Well,
Perkins with his choice here. He'll go right back onto his feet.
yeah, he's not taking the down position. 4-2. I always hate giving up a free point if you know. But if he's worried that as long and lanky as Meredith is, that he doesn't want to take that down position and potentially get turned.
How many times we've said, you know, it's going to come down to the takedown. Here it is, right back at you.
Yep.
Takedown. Meredith has to get this takedown.
He's in good shape here. He's got to clear the ankle out.
Going head to head. Perkins getting his head in the block off.
The old run the pipe.
And so often the kids go for that near cradle. And when you do that, it just takes your pressure off with that hand, and it gives the bottom guy a chance to get
that
out.
Was a little gymnastics pommel horse vault right here. Vault. So, good replay.
I would down about the last minute here. Perkins is going to have to, Meredith's going to just have to find a way to get inside and get the takedown. And he's going to have to ride him too, so he's got a long way to go here.
Yeah, Perkins has a lot of gas in his tank. So
He looks good, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's got that little 2-on-1 rushing.
Meredith gets the head down, see if he can do anything with it.
A hard time with both your elbows locked up.
42 seconds. 42 seconds left.
And Perkins is in good shape here. He doesn't look to be winded or anything. He keeps coming at you.
He's got a lot of high motor skills there. It's
best thing to do when a guy needs to score and he's coming aggressive at you is for you to lower your level and take the shot.
just don't let him get over the top of you too far. Now we're down to 18 seconds. Now he can just hold on both elbows.
Yeah, he
keep
can
from
take
being.
Oh,
take a stall point.
Meredith's doing a nice job. He's being
not gonna be
aggressive.
enough.
And Perkins just knows where he's at and how much time
Yeah.
left, so
That's
he'll
your-
take the stalling.
2 seconds. Even
Pretty
a,
impressive young kids here.
there's your
Well
champion.
done.
Elijah
All right.
Perkins.
We're going to go back to this next match. We'll be a freshman and a sophomore too, so we got a young district. These guys are going to be seeing for a couple more years.
Yeah.
And we've got 2 more young ones coming up right now.
Well, here's our another state placer from Cincinnati LaSalle, Corey Shy. He was 5th at state last year, 2-time league champion, 2-time sectional champion. He's already got 90 victories. He's 90-5 career.
His opponent's from Moeller. He's a freshman. And it's interesting. This is one of these guys that is achieving above his sectional finish. He was 3rd in the Lebanon sectional. He has a record this year of 27-14. He was the CIT champion and the Shadyside champion. And he plays some football. He likes backpacking and skiing. I hope he's not skiing during wrestling season. That's he's
I
going
don't
to have
think
to
they
go.
have time.
He's going to have to ski in the southern hemisphere.
He's going to have his hands full. Corey Shy was a state placer last year as a freshman. Ranked right up in the top 4 or 5 of the whole state this year.
Wow,
He's a
and
tough
in
kid.
summer he was All-American both in freestyle and Greco at Fargo. So Top Gun, won SWOCA, Top Gun. He's a real deal here.
Yeah, he's very good. I think
And he's pretty aggressive. I think this isn't anybody's going to sit back on his hands.
he'll have a state title before it's all said and done.
Well, he thinks he wants to win 3. He said that's his goal. So
Yeah, the problem is
can't win 3 till you win the first one, which is this year.
That's right.
problem is that with a kid like him is he's just right in the middle of all. I mean, right in that 130, 40 range. A lot of kids are there, so he's always got good kids to have to go through.
Yeah, that's the large. That's when you look at the weight distribution of high school athletes. That's the
Yeah, absolutely.
that's the bulge in the bell curve.
Yeah, you just go through the 106 bracket and you see a
Yeah.
lot of freshmen and sophomores,
Yeah.
and you know the 220s and heavies are not near as populated with the talent. And then you get up north and wrestle with the Cleveland kids in that 132 range and 138, 145. There's usually a two-time returner coming back, but I think Corey's definitely good enough to do it. So hopefully this will be the year.
Well, we did interview him last year when he placed, so he's definitely driven individual. That's the end of the
certainly
first.
Works at it, doesn't he?
Then we go into the second period, scoreless.
Mm-hmm.
And Moeller lets him go, so he gets his point.
It's probably a good move. You know, freshmen always struggle from that bottom position. We talk about it all the time, where they're just, you know, they're usually, if they're at this level as a freshman, they've been pretty dominant in junior high, and they haven't spent much time in the bottom position.
Well, he was going to be on top, though, Tim, and he just cut him.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, Shy took down.
I thought it was the other way. I'm sorry.
Good point, but just...
It was a good point.
Yeah, it just didn't apply here.
I didn't say it applied.
Oh,
It's just a good point.
Yeah, just a statement of fact.
Gee, I'm glad to see somebody else doesn't see everything that's happening. They put me on the end of the table now.
Well, Dave,
behind.
We move you far enough away from the monitor so you can see it.
So I can see.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about those reading glasses now. Your arms are long enough. It's just a lot of, actually not even hand fighting. It's just blocking off here. You know, there's
That's happens so often, you know.
Well, especially in a match like this where it doesn't, you know, you're wrestling almost not to lose at some point. It's not, you know, winning the district title is nice, but you're already going to state. You know, you're not. This doesn't win you the state title. This isn't like.
Yeah, you can win it at any point in any part of the bracket, no doubt about it. We'll see what Shy, go back to my point here, we'll see what Shy does on top. If he tries to ride him and just ride him out for the 2 minutes and get a turn.
I think he's going to.
Not much action here.
I haven't seen, you know, this, less than I was anticipating, I think.
Well, yeah, Shy brings it, so it's
he hasn't brought
you don't
much.
see him in a 1-0 match very often. He's good first move, but Shy gets to the ankle, climbs back up top and gets wrist control.
Now he's going to try and do some tilting here, I think. This is his key component here. It's not like college where if you can ride him for a minute and a half, you get a point. You know, if there's no points.
Minute and a half?
Well, I mean, if you're over a minute, if you ride him a minute and a half, a good chance you're going to get a. If you ride him a minute and a half and he rides you for 30 seconds.
You're right.
Am I mistaken? I don't remember seeing Moeller in that uniform before.
Here he's trying to turn him.
There's a muscle.
He didn't get it, but boy.
No, you could be right, Dave. I don't remember those uniforms
either.
That's
a little stressful.
Shy with a good 40-second ride so far.
Really
looks to be like he's in pretty good control here. So.
And this must be what you were talking about.
It was the point I was trying to make.
I get you're just way ahead of your time. But the point is, he took down instead of staying neutral. If he'd have listened to you, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about it right now. Especially on a physical wrestler. If you feel like a little bit, I want to say physically overmatched, but you know, strength issues, a little maturity.
Yeah, freshmen just don't have the muscle mass and the year in the weight room, and Yeah, Thompson will be much bigger next year.
Yeah, he's not going to be a 32-pounder either.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of room to grow. And I suspect he will.
Little Logan Stieber there.
Yeah. Pretty aggressive. Well, he feels comfortable there, too. He hasn't been challenged, basically, by Thompson very much as far as, getting away. So I think Shy feels like he can take a little bit of aggressive approach and not be too worried about.
We're going to call stalling on Shy here. And so
16 seconds.
Pretty amazing, for the experience and background that Shy has. Thompson is hanging right in there.
So Thompson's moving. He's getting set, and then they put Shy on, and Thompson moves. So once the ref tells him he's set and lets the top man get on,
official
he's got to stay.
Tim Carter, the official. This is his first district appearance. He's been officiating for like 9 years, I think. And so even the officials, they get their opportunities too. It takes them a while to get to, out of the reserve matches, the freshman matches, the varsity, the sectionals, and the districts, and then finally state. So, they have to train and work their way up too. There's your winner, 1-0.
Corey Shy.
Yeah. I don't think he's real happy with that match.
No, I don't think he is.
Hey, a win's a win at this time.
Yeah, I know, but quite honestly, he gives Miller a shot. Gives him a goal and say, hey, I'm right there. I'm the guy who's ranked #1 in the state. He beat me by 1.
Yeah,
I can do this.
Yeah, this is a time of the year, these guys that are young and relatively, well, none of them inexperienced by this stage of the season, but relatively inexperienced at this level. They can really get the lights turned on for them.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be showing another Moeller wrestle here shortly. This is the third and fourth place match, I guess.
Yeah,
here
that's third place
for Princeton.
Page
and
6, 10 seconds.
Princeton Oak Hills, their little GMC match, right?
Yeah.
And,
that's a new Oak Hills
8-6.
uniform. I've not seen that Highlander
it
out
should
there.
be Alexander of Princeton and BUIS of Oak Hills.
3 seconds to go, 8-7 match. Princeton leads by 1 with 3. This is big for Princeton. He gets third instead of fourth. That's a major difference in draw up at state. So
yeah, now the Oak Hills kid draws a #1 next week.
yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the center match.
Coached by Ty Robbins, former Mount Healthy wrestler, one of my boys.
Or Arlen Lampy, right? That's who we were supposed to talk about.
Well, both of them. Got to go back to the home boys, home roots.
We're
We
going
sat
back
with them
out
earlier
to
today.
the center mat at 138 pounds from Miamisburg, another Miamisburg wrestler, Riley Reagan. He's a junior and won the sectional in their league this year. And he won the Fairfield Invitational and the Edgewood Invitational. So he's had some pretty good experience. Who's he wrestling?
Well, his opponent is Jacoby Ward, a junior. Finished 4th in the state last year, 8th as a freshman. And if you want to see some back points, this may be the match. Jacoby sure can work on top and tilt.
He can tilt, can he?
Is interesting is last 3 years he's won 27, 28, and 29 matches, which doesn't seem like a big increase, but his freshman year he lost 17, he's finished 8th in the state. His sophomore year he lost 8, finished 4th in the state, and this year he's lost 3. So told you, finally we're seeing some back points. Somebody being aggressive.
Usually
this is
more of a tilter.
Yeah.
Though. Usually not much of a pinner as much as just roll up 2s and 3s.
44 seconds later. Now we're going to get to.
Well, we're going to have to look at the third place match here.
See, good thing I underwrote this one, Keller.
And the third place match here, we have.
Well, the Miamisburg kid just went by, and there ain't a bit of sweat on him. He did not break a sweat. He had
Eric
no
Beck
time.
From LaSalle,
Yep.
who comes in here at 31-9. And his opponent is from Xenia, and that is,
Lawrence
Dudgeon.
Dudgeon, yeah.
Yeah, he's
he is. Let me tell you, this kid is so strong. Dudgeon. You'll see if he
Looks
gets
pretty
in on.
aggressive too.
Oh yeah, he's strong as a bull. Interesting thing. Notice that we saw 2 Moeller wrestles back to back, 2 LaSalle wrestlers back to back. You know, workout partners in the gym. Something, you know.
I love the 140-pound singlet.
Yeah,
How about that, huh?
means.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a nice takedown
by Beck. Right off the whistle, went for a low
Great
single.
Takedown.
Good top work here. He's got an arm bar and a half on the other side.
They're going to go out of bounds, and Dudgeon isn't too terribly happy over the fact that he's given up first points in the match.
Official Terry Schenkel. Is he with the Amish group?
Duck Dynasty, isn't it?
Duck Dynasty, yeah. our answer to Duck Dynasty.
A nice work by Beck here.
Yeah.
Give up
there's the strength. I was
He's strong and aggressive, isn't he?
Beck's in
Beck
there.
right back in there.
I've seen Dudgeon get in so many of these positions and just be lucky. You know, just he's got. First of all, he's not real tall. He's got a lower ceiling. He's been able to keep his hips down and get a lot.
That was always your nature, wasn't it? You weren't real tall. And
yeah, a 112-pound, 5'9", 5'7". A lot of cradles, Dave. Long and thin, you just can't do much else. Throw legs, throw cradles. Well, Beck's taking the match to him, to be honest with you. You know,
yeah, he is. He's at this stage of the match, he's pretty dominant.
For sure. Yeah, that's not a good shot. That was a reach.
Scores 2-1. Second period.
That was very nice. Very nice.
I don't know if he's going to get it again.
We run out of bounds.
That strength is showing up there.
Yep.
He needs to step up with him, pulling back to the middle.
He's going to elevate him over if he tries anything.
I tell you, Beck's wrestling a really good match here.
Well, it's that quick little takedown that kind of caught Dudgeon by surprise there.
2-1 here.
Yeah.
Still in the second period.
He's got an older brother, doesn't he, Dave?
Oh, very
Beck?
nice there.
No, Dudgeon.
Dudgeon did a nice job on the
170
head
or
there.
something like that.
I don't know.
Down to 3 seconds.
That's out of
Oh,
2. He got the 2.
Gave up. I think he took a swing at him and missed.
He gave him the 2.
But he still gave him the 2.
That was big. Big 2.
That's, I mean, I don't
See
know
if
if
we
we're going
can
to be able
see
to
it.
see the score in there.
Well, watch if we can see the official from behind. He's going to step in here right there. And I think he's got it right there. And then you see the towel come behind him.
That's a big mistake there to give up the takedown that late in the match.
Yeah.
Lost focus right there at the end. Right there. At
He
the
did. You
end.
kind of saw him look up at in the replay. You saw him look up at the clock.
Yep.
We're going to get a caution on Beck.
Yeah, he's got an older brother that's a 170-pounder, senior. Named Dayton Dudgeon.
So Beck starting the second period. He's down by a point. He's going to go ahead and try to ride him. He'll get back points right here, I think. Oh, he was close. He got 1. Got a 1 count, but didn't get the 2.
His athleticism is really helping him here. This is a little bit more like more technique by Beck versus a little more athleticism. That means if I say that, easy for you to say. Athleticism. Here we go. Okay, 3-2. Minute 10 left here in the second period. It's important that Beck may be able to maintain this for the whole period.
Yeah, it looks like Beck's going to try to ride him the whole time. That's like saving a point if you can stay on him. Then he'll be able to take the bottom position and get his one. So
got the leg in, but he's got to do something with this too. He cut him loose by his coach. Coach told him to let him go. Not sure why. Looked like he was handling him pretty good there.
Ah, oh, nice defense. Get to his belly there. It's gonna be a stalemate. I like Schinkel calling that so quick too. You know?
Yep.
Because that's going nowhere.
Right.
He's aggressive, a little bit after the whistle too.
Right. They're both a little chippy here. A little different
Down to
body
18.
style.
Your match changer with a takedown here.
Yeah, and also
By
going to
either
be a
of them.
stall call. Yep, there it is. Warning.
Terry Schinkel looks like he's been on that, what's that show?
Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty, that's it.
Oh, great action there.
Yeah.
Wow. That is some good action, fellas. Oh. Well, Beck's just taken too far away.
And there you have
I
it.
thought the board said it was the second period.
Well, the board does say second
I'm
period.
sorry, I
as well.
thought they had another period
Yeah.
left. That's why he was taking the shots like that. My
Yeah.
bad. Well, there you go. 138 in the
All right,
books.
now we're going to.
One of you guys want to take a break here on this match? We're going to get Nicholas Maffey in here. Talk to him, head coach from
I'll be
Northwest.
back in a little while.
You get up and stretch.
I'm going to concession stand.
Okay. Let's see who we've got going here. Greg or
Looks
Tim?
like Tim's leaving.
Oh, Tim's leaving?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll get this started. And at 145 pounds out of Piqua is Hunter Bryant. He was league champion and sectional champion. Comes out of the Centerville 2 sectional. He won the Valley View tournament at 152 pounds. West Jefferson at 152. And his league tournament at 145 pounds. So he's been coming down all season too. Who's his opponent?
Well, another LaSalle kid, Andrew Sams. He's another sophomore, 45. He's 44-4 for the year. He's 8th at state last year as a freshman. He had 2 older brothers wrestle for Fairfield, so another one of those younger brothers, and he's in the red.
Well, joining us here at the table is Nicholas Maffey, who's the head coach at Northwest High School. You've been there, what, 2 years now?
This is my 4th year.
Your 4th year.
Yeah.
See, what time flies, man. You're supposed to be a brand new coach, but what you've done in the last 4 years is pretty impressive. What have your kids done here at the tournament this year?
Well, I appreciate you bringing me on and getting the chance to talk about my boys. There's nothing greater than as a coach to get to hear all the positive feedback about your kids. Today we ended up bringing 4 kids to the tournament, which is really good for us considering the last few years. And all 3 out of the 4 made it to day 2, and out of those 4, all 3 of them are going to be placing.
That's great. and that's great. Getting 4 out sometimes is an accomplishment, and then to get 3 of them out of here totally. That's or at least one will be an alternate, but be placing, and that's a really good thing. What's the secret?
I don't know if there's a secret. You know, when I took over the program 4 years ago, I'm a Northwest alumni myself of 2002, like we'd spoken about earlier. Bringing in guys that wanted to be a part of Northwest High School and the culture and re-amping that culture. When I took over the program, they had 1 returning district qualifier who won 1 match, and there was 4 guys on the team.
Wow.
So 4 years later, it's nice, you know, without sounding arrogant, it's nice to say we started with 4 guys 4 years later. We're putting 4 in the districts. 3 of them are placing.
That's
2 are on their way to state.
That's really good.
Have you been able to develop anything from like junior high?
We have. That's been the whole thing, revamping our culture. When I was in school, I graduated in 2002, like I said, and I brought along one of my great friends who wrestled with me. He wrestled in college at the University of Cumberland, Rob Mooney, and he's kind of like my right-hand man. Everyone, when you see us at tournaments, a lot of people can't pick us apart unless you look at the cauliflower ears.
Yeah. I can tell the ears.
Everyone looks at us and go, brothers? Like, look at the ears. Yeah. I took care of mine. He wears his like a badge of honor. So after he got done wrestling in college, you know, he was fighting professionally. And once we got up to around our late 20s, early 30s, I said, you're not going to do this forever. Yeah. I need an assistant coach that I can trust and that cares about the kids at Northwest. It's one of those places that holds a special place in my heart. So,
well, let me just mention the action that's going on. They both got their leg and they've been swinging around like.
Sam's is a fun one to watch.
Yeah, they've been both going back and forth. They've
been all over the mat.
No, this is more like your kids club junior high stuff almost.
We spent a lot of time with Avery and Sam's and Shine working with those guys this summer, and
that helps your guys too, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, you can't avoid talent.
That's one of the questions I've got. As you're talking about working on the culture of the program and the school, are you getting kids that are going on and wrestling in the summers?
And that's been the key to our success. Telling them that just because you go to Northwest doesn't mean you have to have that team that forfeits 6 weight classes. We're filling a full lineup. We had junior high state placers the last 3 years. I hired a coach. When I got hired, I hired a new coach at the junior high that I had coached and that went to Northwest High School who cared about the program. Our kids club is ran by my brother. So he was coached by Coach Stegmeyer and Coach Dino Davis. Mm-hmm. So he's got some good blood in his veins.
Sure.
So, you know, getting those guys and building it up has been the big key. Like I said, we had 4 in the high school. I don't know how many in the junior high, to be honest with you, but it wasn't very good numbers. Our kids club has gone from 10 kids to we had 72 this year.
Wow.
So
that's great.
Building that success and piggybacking off of each other, it's been very key. And the biggest thing for me that's been a positive, you know, the wins are nice, winning the titles, you know, that's all great, but having kids wrestle at the next level, like using wrestling to get an education. And we, like, as you're going to see, Daniels, who took his, going for
his
third
brother's
place,
down wrestling college here. We did his match a couple years ago.
Absolutely. You know, he 2-time state placer. Now he's going to school. For Lindsey Wilson was a national qualifier last year. Came up 1 match short. You know those blood rounds. He had a tight blood round match and ended up not qualifying for nationals this year. But he's here supporting his brother instead.
I talked to him earlier.
Yeah. It seems to me that there's been a general improvement in the athletic program at
takedown by Sam's right there for
the Northwest has begun to score or begun to have a lot more success in athletics in general. They've been in the football playoffs. Is there any trade-off?
There is. You know, having coaches in the building that care about the school as a whole, and that's why I said that revamping. When our new AD got hired a few years back, 4 years ago, I was his first hire. And the very first question he asked me is, what are you going to do to make Northwest better? I said the same thing I want every other coach to do. I want them to care about the school first, care about the kids right there with it, and everything else will take care of itself. So hiring people, like if you look at our stands, our fans here are our track coach and our AD are here like other sports that work together, come together. We have success on the football field. Those guys also wrestle. And then when this season's over, you're going to see them running in 2 weeks. And me and Coach Moore are going to be yelling right at them.
That's good. That's good. It really is.
Well, tell us about what did you do? How did you get into coaching and wrestling? How did you get into wrestling?
It's a little bit funnier when it comes to that stuff. This is my 9th year coaching. I started out at Hamilton Bay, and I coached for 5 years. But Dexter was my coach at Northwest.
Yeah.
Got me into it. I actually played professional soccer after high school. So I did that for 3 years. And once that was done, had a few injuries, kind of got tired, had a girlfriend at home.
Yeah.
Came home, and I'm like, what am I going to do with my life? I love working with kids. And from there, I got a hold of Dexter. He was like, get the job at Northwest as an assistant. They didn't hire me. So I was like, what am I going to do now? So he brought me on a bait, and I was there for 5 years. And when this job came open, I was like, this is a no-brainer. I want to do something good for my school.
Dexter's a great guy. He's been a real strong guy in the community for years.
He really, and not just his immediate community. He has an effect that goes far beyond wherever he happens to be coaching. He always has been that way. I remember back when he was a kid in high school wrestling over at Deer Park. And
3-1.
He was one of those guys that,
Good job, Sam.
you could depend on to come out and always put forth his very best effort. So you've had good training, Nicholas.
Well,
really
there's your champion, Andrew Sams, 3-1 winner. We got
another LaSalle champion.
Yeah. Well, I had 3 guys in a row there,
Studs.
Yeah.
Avery does a phenomenal job with those guys.
Well, listen, Nick, want you to take our well wishes along with your guys. I hope we have the chance to interview you up in Columbus next week, where you're putting another one, a couple more guys out there for medal round.
2 guys. We got to hope they just do the right thing.
Keep on trucking, man. We're really pleased. We're glad that you're in the Waycross. You're one of the Waycross kids, and we're
you
glad
guys do
to
a
have.
phenomenal job. I appreciate the coverage. Anything positive for wrestling is a positive in my book. I appreciate you guys' time. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
And good luck.
At 152 pounds from Mason, we have Nick DiGustino. Nick is a junior and couldn't get into the lineup. He couldn't get into the lineup last year. It's pretty deep out there at Mason, but this year he's got a 36-11 record, and he was, now get this one, he was 3rd in the sectionals, and here he is wrestling for the championship in the district.
Well, his opponent, Brad Carroll from Fairmont, he's a senior, 41-4 this year, 1st in sectionals, 1st in league, just 1st at the Mason tournament, 1st at Firebird, 8th at Brecksville, which is a tough tournament. Plans on going to either Wright State or OU. Means you can
possible if he won the Mason tournament, then perhaps they met.
Could be.
But DiGustino, I think, has wrestled in a couple weight classes during the course of the year too.
Yeah, a lot of Mason kids were up early and came down a weight, manage their weight control. So.
Mason's built a very solid program, both in securing a really fine youth program. It's well supported and a lot of really talented kids. They, in addition, have built a really top-notch coaching staff.
They did a nice job with their scheduling. We didn't see them at the Coaches Classic because they were wrestling in Chicago or something. So they're doing a nice job of getting their kids out together as a team, away for the weekend at hotels. It does a lot of team building.
And here's kind of interesting, actually, head coach Craig Mernon is in the chair.
Yeah,
you don't see that much, do you?
Yeah, with Teak Fu, but he generally has one of the assistants.
He even gets named as coach in this case.
Yes,
we
made that comment last week, didn't we, Dave?
That's right. Yeah.
Well, that's because he wasn't in the finals.
That's right.
Hey, the power of a leader is good delegation, right?
That's right.
Put good people in charge and let them do their job.
That's right. Take care of this for me, will you, then? Tim. In on that single.
He's got that elbow trapped.
Yeah.
He might get 2 out of here. He's going to get back points here.
Yes.
He's
giving
not
him the 2. Well, Maybe
He's
count.
Count on his own, or does
45.
he's
Does
got
he not
3 down
count?
there with his right hand, but he doesn't wave them.
Well,
at
he
all.
already counted it while he was still
Oh,
up.
he did.
Okay.
Okay.
When they were standing.
But I didn't see him indicate it. You know, usually you have that arm swing.
You know, and that's another thing that you know, the fans sometimes they'll see a one count, and the official may have already counted
Here we
one,
go again.
you know, in his head just because you don't see the hand.
Yeah,
It'll be a
'cause he's
2
trying
count.
to move into position.
Yeah.
There he is. We've got the takedown,
Right.
and we're back here, back on their feet.
He's assisted by Paul Branca.
6-1.
Get some good officials here on this match. And by and large, the match has been officiated pretty well all day, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
I would agree.
There's been number of stalling calls that I think are pretty appropriate, really, a couple times.
Think of the number of calls that these referees make in a day or in a weekend's time. Next week, for those 3 days in March, that are just a repetition of bouts going across those mats at Value City Arena.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, over 1,000. Over 1,000, remember?
Oh, yeah, right. The number of times you have the potential for screwing up, and the number of times that you actually do see a screw up is so small.
Does happen, but, you know.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Do it on the Major League Baseball. You know, if it didn't happen, you wouldn't see instant replay at the NFL in the greatest game of all. You know?
Absolutely.
So,
Good point.
Carroll trying to get his one. Carroll seems a little taller, longer, lankier than D'Agostino.
You know, a curious feature here is that Centerville 2 as a sectional was won by Lakota West.
Right.
And I haven't seen a Lakota West kid on the mat
No,
today.
none of
Have
them.
you?
None of them qualified.
They didn't get any qualifiers.
They have.
Wow.
They got 1 or 2 for 5th and 6th, I think.
Wow.
But yeah.
That's pretty unusual. You know, usually you get some going through.
Well, you know, Lakotas are two of the few schools. There's only a few schools that have the opportunity to come to the Dayton sectional.
That's true.
So they, quite honestly, the Centerville sectionals were pretty weak this year. When you have a weight class with only 4 kids in it at 220.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that was Centerville 1. And then you have another weight class where you couldn't seed any wrestlers because there was none with a winning record.
Wow.
I think that was 182.
Wow.
Centerville. So yeah. So just the way kind of flowed this year. Just the teams were
There's
not
all
real
kind of
strong.
different ways to pick where you want to go. You might want to go right to your competition so you can be separated from them the next week. You know, so.
And Lakota West had a lot of placers, not champions.
Okay.
They had a lot of guys 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Yeah.
So they got a number of guys out, which is great. I mean, that's part of your program too, is get as many move forward as possible, especially with the younger kids. So
Carroll's sitting on he's down
He needs to do
6-4. He's
something
got
here.
15 seconds to get some sort of turn. It's too late to kind of go on his feet there because he'd need 2 takedowns. There's going to be 2.
yeah. So this one's in the books.
This one is done. 8-4. D'Agostino from Mason going to have another champion.
Well, he did a nice job of turning his
From 3rd to 1st.
his matches around here to get out of here, come out of the sectional as 3rd, and drive through here and come out as a champion. It's a great thing. Again, I think that's a lot of that credit. Again, has to go back to the coaches because these kids, they have to have that kind of leadership to reclaim their identity when they've lost, when they didn't really expect to.
Well, it helps when your whole room's also, Mason sent a whole lot of guys up here.
Yes, sir.
And so you're part of, and they're having success.
Yep.
So he's part of that success, but, you build on it. If everybody else is doing well, you don't want to let anybody down, and you're kind of focused.
Yep.
So here we go at 160.
Now we're going to have a little bit of a problem because here we've got uniforms that are different, although thank goodness Springboro makes their uniform completely distinguishable. Blue. Got that burrow runs right down the back in 6-inch letters that even I can see.
That's Andrew Honus. I'm not saying it right, but he's a senior.
He's got not yet, he does.
He's got the he's got the
now
two.
He got the take.
He's going to go. He's coming down to see us. He's going to go UC, University of Cincinnati. Major in physical therapy.
Oh, physical therapy.
Tough work right there.
Well, he's putting some pain on this guy, and then he'll have to give him a little physical therapy.
This is Brett Bryant. He's a sophomore from Moeller. He has a career record of 41-13. He was league champion and sectional champion over in the Lebanon sectional. He plays football. He won the CIT and the GCL. And he wants to major in sports medicine. So maybe these two guys, are going to end up working together. Yeah.
We got that cross body ride in, but you can't have your head down like that.
Bryant's doing a pretty good. Job of getting the reversal in.
It's like I said, you get your head down, you're in trouble. So if you're going to get the cross body ride, you got to have your shoulders and head above theirs. As soon as you drop down, your hips down to the mat and your head down to the mat, look out. You've just put yourself in jeopardy.
This weight is being brought to you by Cincinnati Sub-Zero, industrial and medical specialist in extreme temperatures.
That's good work by Hollis, but he's almost got out. There
got
it is.
His two with 20.
Yeah.
Under 20 to go. He picks up his two reversals.
And that was a slow process, but he was making progress every time. He first came up
Bryant
to his feet.
would have been better served to just give him
Cut
the
him
one.
loose. Yeah. Well, I think he's going to get, maybe not.
Yeah, that was a kind of a
1 versus 2. One never 2
there.
Yeah.
Well, I want you guys to think about this a little bit during the next 4 matches. 4 or 5 matches. I've lost track number-wise. But what have you seen as a podium-type guy out there? Guys, hopefully.
Well, probably only a few, actually. I think it's going to be, we've got 2 from Moeller that I think of with Ward and Ziegler. I think they're podium wrestlers. Shy, again. Jones from St. Xavier ranked number 1, and Meyer kind of right behind him. So
I'm going to go with Donathan. I think he's our best hope, along with Jones from St. X at 220.
We got about 10 podium guys, but it's how high they go on the podium. I don't think we're like last year. We had about 6 or 7 guys that potentially could or should have been state champs, and I don't see that this year.
I think Donathan and Jones are going to be our 2 best hopes. But you never know. I mean, Jekyll's still really good right there, and there's all kind of kids that you just with a hot weekend. But I'm going to go with those 2 as our favorites.
This is the crunch time. This is when everything has to fall into place. Guys got to really work at establishing their focus and being sure to maintain it. The hard part's to maintain it for 3 days. That's the battle up there.
And every year there's some surprises and disappointments too. So maybe there's one of these kids that we're not really covering right here. Comes through and surprises.
Yeah, you never know with a kid like Traub now. One of the best matches coming in tonight I thought might be Brock and Traub. But, Traub has really been impressive.
Right.
He's a tough, aggressive kid, so you just never know. He might get up there and do something.
I think they hit heads or something.
I don't know what hit there.
Came down on the back of his head.
Yeah, right.
Honus?
Yeah. We're going to show it here.
See it here.
See. Yeah, see, hit right on his head.
Kind of had his Bryant had his chin, and then his chin slipped out. His head was sort of.
You know, he scalped him a little bit, skidded on that hair.
I think he's okay.
All right, 4-3. Honus is winning. 48 seconds here in the second. Well, Traub's definitely looked impressive, and you got Hensley, you know.
Hensley's actually ranked pretty low. I think he's only like an.
I think an interesting match will be the last match of the night. Honestly, will be between Cloud and Hensley, two pretty strong heavyweights.
Yeah, probably. You know, I like I said, I'm looking forward to Brock and Traub, but Hensley and Cloud could be the match of the night that I've really wanted to see.
I think, quite honestly, we've said it a lot. There's a lot of freshness. So I think in 2 years from now, is when all these sophomore and freshmen are juniors and seniors. That's going to be another.
Yeah, we've had quite a few freshman, sophomore like finals right here, which is a good thing because they're only going to get better. But you send them up to state when they're wrestling seniors. Some of the seniors from Cleveland.
Yeah, we've got 12 seniors competing here, and 7 juniors, 5 sophomores, and a couple freshmen. So it's not as young as what it appeared to be at the start of the match.
No.
All right, we're gonna.
Okay, 5-3.
Bryant's gonna need a takedown and a ride, or
from Springboro.
Nice job there.
Yeah.
We're going 1 red for fleeing the mat.
What?
He just called 1 red for fleeing the mat.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Oh, now we're going to have it. Now that got the Moeller coach's attention.
Let's see here. Moeller kid took the shot. Ooh, I don't know if I see a fleeing the mat there. He took the shot on a little duck there, and
wow. That's a.
Coach,
you go from
I'm wondering if he's working in the last match.
That's the definition of perplexed.
Well, Bryant took the shot, and kind of fell awkwardly out of balance, and then he was just trying to get him Honus off his head. So.
Well, it sounds like we're going to get more attention.
A little overtime.
Official calls.
Bryant in with 2 there.
Nice job. Oh. Boy, Bryant was really in there, and Honus.
Hey, it's one of the high school rules, Dave. You just get tired of how the mat is so small. I mean, their toes touch, and that's not a referee's fault. That's the rules. But golly, these college matches now, you watch them wrestle now, and they just wrestle.
Oh, there you go, the little spin behind.
Nothing
yet.
He
still didn't score on it.
That's just I think that's a little bit of a strength issue there. He wasn't able to hold it.
Ryan, I think, showing a little frustration here.
Well, yeah, I suspect he is.
He's had 2 takedowns there, and he didn't get either of them to count.
Got a Russian on, and he tries to sit through it.
He's going to have to look for back points off of a
23 seconds.
Now.
He's going to have to really push it. He's down by 3. Brett Bryant is.
Honus is doing a great job. Just he's got the 3-point lead.
He doesn't need to do anything right here other than
he's right where he needs to be.
Stay in the middle. Stay on your toes.
Well, there's your champion.
Guys from Moeller got a lot of hair, don't they?
They really do anymore, don't they?
They must not be having trouble cutting weight.
Now, I've got a story on that one. Andrew Honius of Springboro takes home the championship here at 160 pounds. I've got a story about hair and weight.
Yeah.
I had a kid back in the ancient days who, in the days when everybody wanted to wear long hair, you were probably one of those guys, weren't you, Greg?
Yeah.
The long hair guys,
Yeah,
went
had a little
down
bit.
over the collar and
Well, yeah, of course.
everything. Yeah, sure.
Nobody wanted to see your ears.
And we weighed in at Norwood for a dual meet, and he was a quarter pound over. I said, you got a choice. Cut your hair or go home.
What bus did he get on?
No, he didn't. He cut his hair, and the next year, well, he got pretty upset about it as a junior. Next year, he broke the state takedown shortest time record. It only stood for a few months after that, but went on to state and took 6th in the state. So
Wow.
can happen.
Well, Jordan Paul here from Loveland is on top.
170 pounds.
Our first representative from Loveland. He's got over 100 victories. Junior, ranked pretty high. We forgot about him. We haven't talked much about him as a possible placer.
Yeah, he's solid, no question.
Well, oh, wow. What did they stop that one for? Man, I'll tell you.
Potentially dangerous.
That hurts.
Who's the ref here?
I hate that.
This guy I don't
Dave,
know.
do you know the ref here?
No, I can't give you his name. I've seen him before, but there's too many of them. Riley Etherington is from Stebbins. He's a senior. He has 106 wins.
It's not a name Stebbins isn't a name we've heard very much of. In
That's
the
right.
last year.
He was 3rd in his league. But
3rd in his league, and he's in the district finals.
Yeah, but boy, that was a dumb move. I hate to say it.
I see why he was 3rd.
Pretty tight.
He's not going to go much farther.
Well, dumb's not the right word. I shouldn't say that. It was ill-advised.
Pretty aggressive. I mean, he's really coming after Jordan Paul. And that Paul was just kind of stay relaxed and caught him.
We certainly
there. I
have
don't know
seen,
what we're waiting on here.
we've certainly seen Loveland wrestlers throw and pin, and that's not the last, probably not the last time we'll see it either.
Jordan Paul going to be your 170-pound champion there with the pin.
He'll have that good draw up there in Columbus next Thursday.
Makes a difference, doesn't it, Dave?
Oh, the draw means so much.
Everybody will be home tomorrow night. Going through looking at the computers around noon, I think, trying to get the bracket, see who they draw. And
8 a.m. tomorrow, they're supposed to be
when they
up.
come out?
Yeah, that's what I saw on the OHSAA website, that they'd be out.
What you'll have is all the dads will be up at 8 o'clock looking. They'll be starting at 8:45.
Oh, yeah.
And all the kids will still be sleeping.
Yeah, well, do the important stuff, right? Well, we've got another match going on over here for 3rd place. This is Wilcox from Northmont. And his opponent from
No, I think we're up at 170, Dave. I think it's Salzer from
I'm looking at
Springboro.
182.
Yeah.
I already turned the page.
Salzer of Springboro and Pitts of Mason.
Yeah, Pitts of Mason, Salzer of Springboro.
Right now we're 1-0. Green, which is Pitts of Mason's up 1-0 in the second here with about 25 seconds left.
Cincinnati. Cincinnati Performance Fitness is here. This, you know what this represents. What that program represents is specialized training for your sport, but with a broad base of training. And
Scott Goodpasser's been around forever.
Functional Fitness does some remarkable stuff.
He spent many years with David Taylor, one of the greatest Ohio wrestlers ever. And,
that's right.
Scott Goodpasser.
One of the greatest national
ever. I mean,
wrestlers.
Many might think he's the best they've ever seen. So you got Stieber and guys like that. around. But, yeah, David Taylor was as good as it ever probably has,
Yes, sir.
has been. But, yeah, Scott trained him back in high school. He'd drive down from
Yeah,
St. Paris
he did.
Graham. And
Yeah. Absolutely.
Scott does a lot of work, but he had, Ian Korb from Elder. So he's trained a lot of.
Who's the kid that ended up wrestling at Mount St. Joe?
He had AJ Cole.
Wrestled at Miamisburg. No, Little Miami. Gosh, I can't think of that kid's name. My memory is.
He actually had
limited.
Marinelli from Graham that he worked with back in like 7th and 8th grade. So people would come for an hour and a half just to go work out with Scott.
Okay, we got 1-1 here in the third period. It's a third place match at 170 pounds.
They're tied at 1, and Salzer just got hit with a warning for stalling. So he doesn't want to back up anymore.
He's backing up.
Good job there to just rotate him back in.
Pitts is a pretty powerful kid. He's pretty physical, dominating during the course of the season. He came here with a record of 35-9.
Oh, nice job. Oh, no
takedown.
Nope, he had his foot up and came down out of bounds.
No, I don't think that was it, Greg. I think he was getting it too, but he kept rolling through. I think there was more he rolled through there.
Here comes Ryan
Let's see if
Root
we can.
over.
He's been over all day.
Ryan Root came over to
confirm.
Yeah. I thought maybe we'd see that one again. That was pretty
impressive.
See if our truck can get that later. A minute to go. He won sectionals, didn't he, Dave?
No.
He was in the finals. Got second.
Well,
Salzer's got to be careful. I mean, he's still backing up a little bit. There's a good shot. He's still got the clock running here. Down to 22.
Yeah, Pitts took second. I remember him, he was in the finals. We did his match.
Yeah, I remember.
He got beat by Adams from Elder.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And interesting. He qualifies and Adams doesn't.
Yep. Oh, there's a good defensive college scrambling right there.
Nothing.
Boy, you get somebody gets in deep on you.
Now it's overtime.
OT.
Tell you what, I think Salzer's having some knee issues. Every time he gets up, he's working on the kneecap on his right leg. Good job working on his head here. There's a good shot.
He's into that single. Again, let's see if he can
in good here.
Finish this out.
Oh, nice job.
Oh.
Wow.
Elevator
Salzer.
and take
Wowza.
that. Oh, wow.
I think Salzer put him to sleep a little bit.
That was not what Pitts thought was going to happen on this.
Look at this.
Oh, wow, look at that. Elevate and take down.
He's bleeding, though, but he won. We showed that on.
All right, here we go, fellas.
Now we go
We're
to
up
180 pounds.
182 pounds.
Mason. Jordan Collins.
You got the Mason guy there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was. He's a senior this year. Don't have any one-lost record. I watched him wrestle every year.
He didn't give us much of information, as I remember.
No, All I know is I watched him wrestle when he was a 20-pounder as a freshman. I watched him at 32 as a sophomore. I watched him at 60 as a junior, and now I'm seeing him at 82. I've watched him for 4 years.
You've grown a little bit, huh?
The kid has not quit growing. Yeah.
And you've just watched it. That's amazing. You remember back because
I-
he doesn't look a lot like what he did when he was a freshman.
Well, when he's a sophomore, he had a great fireman carry.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, 32.
Well, his opponent's from Sydney, and he has a career record of 126 wins and 30 losses. This year he's 29-1. Won the Highland Tournament and the Holiday Tournament at Dayton. He's going to be attending Ohio University next year, studying hospitality and tourism. Now that's a good major. That's what you should have been, Greg.
Run
I'm
a
very
hotel.
hospitable. There you go. Look at that. He's still got a little bit of that duck under, roll under stuff. 82, you don't try too many firemen's, but, you know.
Well,
he likes to get on that elbow.
Our friend Jim Emig would tell you that the great heavyweights throw firemen's carry. So we have to, I guess,
only once in a while
think of that one.
There's a takedown, 2-0. Now he's going to.
And coincidentally, we have Julian Daniels of Northwest wrestling on the immediately adjacent mat for third place. And no score in that match yet either.
He's taking on Sam Wilcox from Northmont.
Yep.
We're still here 2-0 with Jordan Collins. Doing a good job on top here. He's got a good arm bar in on the right. On the stalemate there to stop it. Haven't been able to catch any updated team scores. So I don't know where the Moeller Elder second place
look up there
score is, but
I'll see if they post it again.
Mason was in had no real threat of losing the match.
Moeller 31,
159.
Elder 28 and a half.
That's the same
what it was.
original
It's
scores.
the original
Yeah, they haven't
score, so they're
updated.
not updating them.
That's the end of the first period. 2-0. Jordan Collins, Mason.
That's Sydney uniform with the Superman S. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that too.
So Collins will be down.
Ginter looks like he likes to be on top here, so. He's in trouble though. Collins is in good shape here.
Tell you, once the Mason kids get a hold of your hand, they rarely let go of it. They work that.
I think Ginter's looking more for a stalemate here. He could lock up there. Because he's in trouble here. He's going to give up the 2. Yeah, he's in trouble.
He's in big trouble.
All he's got to do, that should be 2.
That's 2.
4-0.
Collins again, right back to that arm bar. Doing a good job on top. Pressure on. In pretty good control.
Meanwhile, Julian Daniels has rushed out to a 5-0 lead over here in the third place bout, one of our Waycross kids. with 21 seconds to go here, and it's 182-pound championship bout. There, Ginter almost comes out.
Oh, it's a little more active right there
Boy,
from the
I'll
bottom.
tell you what, that's like trying to catch a mouse running around out there.
Pretty big
Skittering
point
all
there,
over
though.
the. Yeah, it's a big mouse, but it's skittering around like that. That's a lot of movement out of guys that size.
David said Daniels is over here wrestling for 3rd and 4th. He actually lost to Ginter in the semis, is who he had.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got pinned.
Had a tough
Ginter
lot.
pinned him.
And to get here, he had his go-to match, beat Mason Quinn of Lakota West.
A great match.
Yeah.
3 overtimes or something, wasn't it?
Right. Quinn's down there. Said he's Lakota West had won the sectionals, and he's going to be their highest placer with hopefully a 5th place here. With a minute to 7 to go down there. So 5-3, Dave. Changes.
Yeah.
Position.
Daniels make it. We got him in a spladle.
He didn't know.
Well, it's not a spladle. He's in a split.
So,
Leg in.
Coaches are really wanting a couple back points there again.
Yeah, looking for that.
Randy Adams was hustling, but he didn't get there.
Daniels got to block off and not let him get that leg picked up.
I tell you, Collins is wrestling a good match.
Yeah.
He's been in total control this whole match. Just wrestled kind of a very methodical, controlled match.
6-0 with 51 seconds, and he isn't.
I think we're all kind of focusing on Julian's match because we watched him wrestle so many times. Just hurt his shoulder.
Daniels' shoulder is hurt. He got head levered over here on this other mat, and at the same time,
Collins looking for that cradle there. He's got him kind of crushed up there.
Collins is really just trying to stay out of trouble. He's going to really put himself in good positions where he doesn't have to take any risk. He's got a 6-0 lead. Wrestled a great match. So he's very content to get into some stalemates and some scrambles. And looks like he's going to come out as a #1.
seems that way. He's got 19 seconds to. You know, that's another impressive thing. These Mason kids that have wrestled this big statewide and region-wide schedule, they wrestle so much more confidently. They don't get excited. They give up some points, and they just keep chucking it in there. Keep putting the pressure on. Put the pressure on.
I thought Collins there just wrestled such a smart, controlled match.
That was a
I've
really
seen
nice
wrestles
match.
all that match. It's just very.
It really was.
Yeah, it's a 4-year starter for you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And a starter that's grown from a 20-pounder, different style of wrestling, grown into his,
We move over to now. This is a Daniels match.
Daniels is down injured
He's
again.
hurt again. His shoulder, I think, is.
I don't know if it's his shoulder, if it's his
elbow
this time. It was his shoulder before, and now
Either
his
way,
elbow.
though, that's his second injury time. He's got 31 seconds on the clock. I think Northmont will maybe choose down at this point. Because they get their choice after second injury time. They'll get their choice of position. And he's already over there signaling over there signaling it. So he'll go down now. If he gets out, and the takedown will win it for him now.
Well,
yeah, I'm not so sure. I wouldn't. Yeah.
Oh, they're going to go optional
They're
start.
They're going to go option
And
start.
go ahead and give him the point. I'm
I
not
don't know.
sure. I might have just gone ahead and tried to ride
Try
him
to
out.
ride it out.
Make him work as hard as he can.
At least he circled there at the edge of the mat and turned in rather than backing out.
5-4.
We're down to 20 seconds. He's got to be careful here. He's
a good enough athlete. He doesn't have a stalling call on him, so.
That was really smart. Circle back in, but yet stay on the edge.
And stay
take
with
a
the
shot
time.
out and take him out of bounds.
That's good, smart. That's good, smart wrestling. That's impressive. I like that. Oh.
Now he's going to.
Oh, there he got it. Caught him on the takedown.
There you go. 7-4.
7-4. And Northwest takes another place winner to Columbus.
Yep.
It's Julian Daniels at 182 pounds, third place. And that moves us on to 195 pounds.
Here we go. And Gary Traub.
It's the one I've been looking for, fellas.
42-0.
This should be a good match.
Son of John Traub, coached by Jeremy Pletz, Jr.
Gage Brock is from Elder. He's a senior. And he's got over 100 wins in his career. And only 28 losses. Last year he was, in this tournament, he was 0 for 2. And it was fourth in his sectional.
Wow, he did a really nice job there. He was in trouble there. Traub was in good position, and Brock got out. So.
And this year he was the GCL champion and second in the league. He plays lacrosse. He's going to go to
Traub's in there.
Everybody loves
Excuse me,
lacrosse.
Brock's in there. Oh,
Yeah,
Traub with a
gets
nice
switched
switch
into
off
it,
of the
yeah.
lift.
There's
Wow.
the takedown.
Brock
Just in
was
control. You notice he wasn't panicking about it. He,
Yep.
you know, he didn't.
Traub is a very
his lips weren't confused.
confident wrestler too. Same we were talking about before. Nice
Little foot
nice,
flake.
nice hip out. Pick the heel off and go.
Two to one.
Gary Traub.
Kind of cool coaching your kid. And
Dad's sitting over there in the corner.
Been around a while, hasn't he?
Yeah.
There's going to be 2 for Brock.
Yeah.
Boy.
That was just kind of slow motion.
You know, I hadn't seen Brock wrestle much till the GCLs and things, and it just seems so strong.
Mm-hmm.
You said before this all started, you were saying this was going to be the match of the night.
I said about 5 of them so that
Yeah.
I knew
Well,
I'd be
yeah,
right.
well, I know that.
That
but
way I was certain to be right.
I think the heavyweight's going to be the match of the night.
It's called cover yourself, right?
You forget about the other ones I said when
Whoa.
He's still down. He didn't. End of the period, 3-2.
Brock defers.
He's going to optional start. Or I think he's going to try and stay on him or just cut him loose here.
The optional start doesn't mean you have to kick him.
Right.
You're allowed to attack.
Exactly.
It didn't work though because Traub's got his arm underneath.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Traub wants to throw bad.
He did it too.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
gonna
a
get-
nice
And
roll through.
Brock
Yeah.
rolls right on
Wrong
through.
place.
Out of bounds.
We need bigger mats,
No
fellas.
score.
Yeah.
That would have been some nice action with a little more mat space. Right about there, they're going to start calling it out. Boom, they're out. In college, they weren't out
They
though.
still wrestle. Okay. Same thing. Little hand fighting.
Boy, these kids are both strong.
Yeah.
For 195. How old's Brock? Do you guys know?
He's got that
He's a
senior, isn't he?
senior. Yeah.
And Traub's back. He's only a junior. Oh, there's going to be some.
Whoa.
Oh,
That was interesting. Traub's only a junior?
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I mean, we get to see his dad in the chair
Big John. Yeah,
more
Next year,
years.
too.
and no points still. Travis. Wrestling is.
Red's in charge. We're going to get a stalemate here.
Yeah, he's breaking him.
Actually not. That's a leg half Nelson he's got in there. Yeah, that's
Yeah, see, that's.
Shouldn't have.
called it too soon.
Yeah.
I think he called
Well,
that
Called
one
it too
quick.
soon.
I don't know. He was counting leg. Yeah, it's looking like he was.
He's holding 2 for back points.
Yeah, he counted back. That's what I'm thinking.
No, he didn't give him, though.
What
I thought he was holding 2 for back points. So I think what we've got now is 4-3 Traub. 4-3, yeah, 4-3 Green.
You got a.
Yeah, they got the score reversed there.
Yeah, I think it's 4-3 Traub's winning. But you've got the names in the wrong place. Traub is for Sycamore, Brock is for Elm.
Did you ever sit in the chair with Keith, Greg? You listening?
I'm talking to the truck.
Oh,
We were straightening
I
out the
didn't s-
graphics.
I didn't see you even with the finger on
I
the
had it.
truck.
We had Traub listed as Elder and Brock for Sycamore. We just had to
Oh.
switch them.
We had to,
So we had the right team
We had to
winning. We
move it.
just had the wrong name winning.
had to change schools
Yeah.
real quick. Okay.
we
Here's,
got Brock
here's
down with
that
some-
here's that situation here that resulted in the reversal, but boy, I'll tell you,
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I think he's got the 2. He just went back and locked up. But
yeah,
when he
yeah, he
broke,
went back and locked it. I
Yeah.
guess that's
he had it.
yeah.
So 4-3.
Did
There we
you
go.
Did you ever sit in the chair when Keith was wrestling?
Just a couple times. I really didn't like it. I mean,
I didn't like it either. I
Most of
did
the
it
way
one
fun.
time.
Yeah.
Did it one time, and the kid lost.
it was.
Never do it
I
again.
figured if I was in the chair, I was taking away one good coach.
Oh,
So
And you
my-
were right.
So
I was coaching-
I did learn. The other thing I learned is never film your own kid.
You don't like what it sounds like when you watch it back.
No, you
do
go give it to somebody else so you can say whatever you want on the other side of the mat and they can't hear
I'm sure there's a bunch of parents out there watching this show.
you. They're nodding their head. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, we got it right here. Traub from Sycamore's got a 1-point lead. Brock's on the bottom, so an escape will tie it up. Traub looks like he's got some nice legs here. Controlling his hips with him. He's looking for quick little back points. There it is. It's ooh.
That
Didn't even count
that's-
one there.
That's the thing. He's like you said before. He's very calm, very collected. You know, he just keeps grinding away.
Throwing
4-3.
away. This match is far from over, though. It's one mistake away from being losing 5
Oh,
to 4.
absolutely, absolutely.
Or should I say one good move by Gage Brock. You know, didn't have to be a mistake.
Brock only needs a point here to tie it up.
Right.
He's got a minute to do it in.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
sure
there
it's
he's trying to
not
pick
right
that
there.
Peterson. Well,
Traub likes his
change
little
off.
surfboard. Back in our day, we called it a surfboard.
There's the tie. Now it's 4-4.
That's the old school coaching from his dad. All even, Steven.
Good head position here by Brock.
This might go OT.
That would be the quickest way to change a lot of the stuff that goes on is get people to stop blocking with their heads.
Look out. It's going to get leg picked up.
Oh,
Man, that's
Yeah,
hard
mark
to
on
do.
him.
What he just tried to do defies
That's gonna
physics,
be
I
two.
think.
That's 2 right there. He's got that
two.
in. Yep.
I'm not sure. Well,
yeah, I'm not sure what Brock was trying to do there.
I don't know what he was trying to do.
But he wasn't doing it.
Whatever it was
He's in trouble now.
unintentional. Now he's
There it's up. That's the end of the match. Their winner, Gary Traub.
make his
Didn't
dad
that match
happy.
seem a little slow motion to you?
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
The trial I watched earlier seemed to be a little more aggressive than the other earlier matches.
You know, I think it's this district finals.
And his strength thing, I think Brock's strong, and he probably just slowed Traub down a little bit.
All right, we're getting up to the bigger boys. We'll jump. Here's the number one ranked wrestler in the state, Cole Jones from St. Xavier High School, 36-0. Number one intermat ranking.
And
everybody else.
Out of Mason is Sheldon Sims, another senior. He's he shows here 144 wins in his career. That's a lot of wins.
I'll say.
I haven't seen that. I'm going to count that up again. I'm not so sure that these guys always are putting down honest numbers. You know?
Let's see.
I think we need to have a
four-year starters.
No,
could get
Cole
there.
Jones got 158 wins. So.
Yeah, but
I
how
wonder
many
if they
losses?
throw their JV matches in.
32. 100, that's 40.
30,
I mean, he's third.
135.
They get 45 matches in nowadays, so
40
That's
matches.
180.
40
180
matches
total.
lost. Wow, that's a lot of
Yeah,
work.
51,
I still think
55,
we need to
48.
have a forensic audit on this.
Cole was old state football, wasn't he? Honorable mention in football. And,
it's a terrific linebacker.
yeah. He's strong. He's a
Great
planning
job
on
by
attending
Sims.
the
Got plenty of time here. Great
West
job by
Point.
Sims. Watch him split the legs now.
Just got to sit
Gotta
up.
Elevate the leg. Oh, he's got
sitting
to
up.
elevate the ankle. And Jones is going over his back, and then he'll belly down.
He's still got his hip. Still got a hip
Oh,
above.
he's got his
Got his-
head.
He shouldn't have done that.
Oh.
Shouldn't have done that.
Man, great
Oh,
job
wow.
by Jones.
Shouldn't have. He
He
was
was in
better off
trouble
staying where he
and
was.
got
yeah.
out. Well
Right.
done.
So U.S. military Army at West Point.
Yeah, you said that. You said that you thought that was the case. Yeah.
Yeah. He's
That's
gonna be
a
able to
couple
play.
of them
He may
up there.
play football up there. I'm not sure. You know, he likes to do both sports. He really couldn't decide.
We got Jones headed for West Point, and Sims is going into some technical degree in a technical school.
Yeah,
I'm
Sims.
not quite sure.
Jones takes down, and Sims takes just cuts him loose automatically. Says, "Go ahead. We're going on our feet again. I almost took you down last time." We saw in the earlier match when between Cole Jones and Jack Myers, situation where Jones came out and got taken down, and then
Yeah, Jack came out
yeah,
strong, got a
I
nice
didn't
high
see
crotch
that.
for a takedown, but then Jones kind
ended
of
up beating him
controlled the
73.
rest
Yeah.
of the match.
So it's like he got away with one first period here too. He's flattened out, no
Sims-
points.
Sims good counter there.
The Mason coaches are happy with that. The way Sims is wrestling, they're giving him a lot of encouragement
Sure.
from the corner there.
Hey, Jones undefeated.
Sims looks pretty good, actually. This is what Jones is the one we talked about earlier. Is one of our #1 ranked kids by most of 4 or 5 guys that put in predictions of who they think's going to
Yep.
win and all that, you know.
That's a big monkey to have on your back, Frank. You know.
There's a double stall call, which is one of those controversial, something, but probably right, neither of them was working. So now the next stall call on either one of them results in a point.
Yep.
So puts both of them on the clock, basically. 20 seconds, 17 seconds left here in the second period. I think they're
You did
stalling.
see earlier though that Jones is a pretty good rider.
Oh,
Oh,
he just
oh, that was
Right.
really close. I thought Sims might have had his hands on the mat there. Could
Yep.
have given him two. You know, I think Jones is a pretty good top guy, so we'll see what he does with Sims if he tries to ride him out. if it's just going to come down to the first takedown.
Well, Cole Jones leads 1-0 here going into the third period.
Quite honestly, this is a disadvantage.
I think right there, I think
Yeah,
that was
that's 2 points.
His hands were on the mat. It's a good break for Sims.
Well, real, because the disadvantage here is that Jones can't afford to get warned for stalling on top here.
Sims got to his feet pretty good there.
1-1.
I think he let him go. I think that was a smart move. No sense trying, taking a stall point and then give an escape later. So let's go now.
Boy, that's a good. He's got the angle there. They keep fighting for that angle.
At least we aren't getting that straight in shot.
A little blood time here, looks like. Cole's bleeding a little bit.
Cole Jones looked like he's
Wobbling. I think he was just putting his head up because the official wanted to see his nose.
Because of the nose?
Yeah.
Going to have to get a taller
Trainer?
or
A step stool.
yeah.
Looking for blood.
Looks like they got it cleaned up. Blood time stopped. Back to action here. We're tied at 1 still. I
The
think
third period.
Yeah. See a little more action now, picking it up a little bit.
one takedown's going to win it, guys. Whoever gets the first one.
It's Cole Jones in the.
Oh, nice little slide by. Missed it. Sims right back in with a front headlock.
Oh,
Jones
nice
with a
little
duck.
Oh,
That's got to be 2. His hands were on the mat again. I think
Well,
he
he's got
away
it this
with
time.
Boy, when those hands hit the mat and you're behind him, I think that's 2.
I think that's 2. I think that by definition.
Fortunately
That's
for
2.
Cole Jones, he did end up getting it.
37 seconds.
I tell you, I don't know where Sims is ranked, but Myers 3 or 4 or whatever, and Jones is 1. But tell you,
It's a
this
strong
Sims
district
kid,
here.
this Sims kid's not bad.
Right.
He's a junior too.
He's showing a lot of talent.
I take that back. He's a senior.
I think
This looks like he's going to get his. Well, nope.
Jones is using his strength now. But
Like a little second win on that blood time, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
almost faced up, but not quite. "13 seconds.
I don't think there's quite enough time left. I tell you, I think Sheldon Sims held his own here.
Let him go. There you go.
I think he can find the podium next week.
That's time.
It's a
That's
good
a
match.
close match. 3-2.
Good match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Sheldon Sims. Well, here we go, fellas. The last match of the night, but I think going to be one of our better ones.
Yes, sir.
Coming out of Northmont, Centerville 2, is senior Ryan Cloud. He's, well, he's done almost everything except place at the state.
He is huge, Dave. Got to go 6'5", 6'6".
His opponent,
He's bigger than us, standing on one another's shoulders.
a junior from Moeller, Joe Hensley, 34-5 this year. Ranked near the top of the state rankings at heavyweight. Boy, this Cloud just pins people. He's a pinning machine. But Hensley's wrestled a lot of good competition here, so we'll see what we got.
He's
two
playing.
pretty solid heavyweights here. And there's an example, great shot by Cloud. Then Hensley goes more, looks like he's wrestling like a 25-pounder.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Boy, was that power?
A pin.
That was power.
Wow.
Man, that was impressive.
He is.
You're right. You said he is the real
specimen.
I told you, it's a pinning machine.
Wow. He is a horse. He's also going to wrestle either at Ohio University or Kent State. And over here on the third place mat, we're seeing this. We'll watch this finish up here.
Now he had to keep going there. He had to
Cloud
keep
coming out
his belly
back.
to the ground.
And he's coming back, but he just doesn't have that strength to handle that big a kid.
He's a big fella.
Jeez. Okay, over here on the other, on the third place mat, we have.
We got any more wrestlers, Dave? Or we?
We're on the third and fourth place match, which is. Let me find it real quick for us, Dave. Must be Floyd of Springboro
and Jackson of Xenia.
4-0 match
and
for Xenia.
While we're watching the rest of this match, I guess it's time to talk about, once again, our underwriters who have been so generous to put forth the finances that are necessary to make this operation fly. We've expanded our coverage this year to include the sectionals. Next week we'll be in Columbus at the Schottenstein Center to cover the state championship bouts. And in those matches, we're going to cover on Friday night the semifinals, and that's going to be a lot of fun, because that's where many people would insist that that's where the best wrestling takes place.
Funnest night of wrestling right there.
Yeah.
And then we're going to see our Waycross kids in action on Saturday.
That's the craziest part of it.
Oh, it drives our directors nuts, as well as, well, it doesn't take anything to drive us nuts, but the directors suffer greatly. Camera people suffer greatly. And we'll be covering all the place winners that we have there. And then we'll come back on Saturday, and we're going to do highlight coverage of our champions. We can't do all the championship matches that our kids are in. We can't do them completely because of the arrangements the OHSAA has with Time Warner Sports.
Right.
But we can do highlights of it. And so on behalf of Tim Cunningham, Greg Klein, all of our wonderful underwriters, and most of all, the great volunteers of Waycross Community Media, we want to wish you a good evening. So long from Fairmont High School and the district finals.
See you next week.
See you next weekend, David.
See you guys.
Copies of this program are available for $20 each. Send program title along with your address and check or money order to Waycross Community Media. Attention Dub Coordinator, 2086 Waycross Road, Forest Park, Ohio 45240. Or buy securely on the web at www.waycross.tv.
Coverage of OHSAA Wrestling on Waycross Sports, underwritten by SWOCA, the Southwest Ohio Wrestling Coaches Association. Dr. Stephen Daly. Dr. Kevin Riley. Keller and Klein Incorporated. Foster and Motley, financial consultants. Cincinnati Functional Fitness. General Advertising Products. Cincinnati Sub-Zero. And Tim Cunningham.